I want to start by saying I am enjoying our discussion. I didn't expect anyone to engage with the first comment I made and didn't think it would lead to this wonderful conversation we are now having. So, thank you for engaging with me. You can respond with videos, that is fine with me. I want to make a suggestion. How about you read an entire paragraph and understand the point I would be trying to make? I think that would make your response video short. Okay, thank you for encouraging start of this comment. So this is 2 weeks ago and I only have now the opportunity to read and respond or react to, right? Because it has been a hectic 2 weeks where I'm most of it outside, etc. Anyway, so this is a continuation because if I remember correctly, this person is an atheist, and I think initially there's a video that I hope I can put the link or something which started this, where he commented with regard to the moral aspect of the marriage of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam with Aisha. He says he can accept it from the previous reality where it's morally acceptable, but now etc, right? So that's the discussion which start off, and I reacted by making a video, and this the comment under that video. I only have now the opportunity to read, so this is it. So about his comment about this, because I have a habit of whenever I read something, it triggers something in my mind and I simply share it. So that's how I react. But perhaps because the video become quite a long video, I think more than 1 hour, I think, because for everything that I read, I react, and sometimes I'm getting ahead of myself because, oh, okay, at the later part, it's actually addressing what I talk about or something like that, right? So thank you for the suggestion. So, and now he put the comment into paragraph, so that is helpful. Thank you very much. So let's go to paragraph number 2. I like that you acknowledged that our morals as human beings are changing over time. So we can agree that morality is relative and that is fact. Okay, I'll read through first before I comment, right? Someone can choose to believe that it is not, but that doesn't change anything looking at our history as humans. When one says, look at Europe and America in the past, so we can't back project our current morals, it is an admission that morals are relative. I do not think we have a fundamental differences on this. Morality is relative. You agreed to this. You just believe that it shouldn't be, and morals should come from God. All right. So, yeah, if you look at human, the way, as you know, we can say collectively or the majority, because normally we follow the majority or we follow those who are in power at the time, right? That shape the whole reality. Yes, over time, the moral, what is accepted as moral, change. If we are talking about morality in that context, in the context that what the majority, let's use that, the majority or those who are the majority of the power accept as moral, that will change over time. Normally when anyone who is believing in God, right, I believe, be it Christians, Muslim, Jew, etc., right, who believe in God, a creator that sets purpose on this world, when we discuss morality, it's not about what people accept as acceptable or not. It is about what are do and don'ts from God, because ultimately that is what is important. Because if everyone accept this is okay, but actually God says no can do, all of us will be punished when we do that, because when God say no, that is not permissible, for example, right? Hence, from the context of, I'm not sure what to call it, is it morality or something else, but if you want to context it in the sense that what is acceptable and what is not from anyone who believes in God, it would relate to what God says is allowable, what God says is okay, and what God says is not okay, not allowable, not permissible. Hence, if you want to call that morality, then morality is only from God, not based on what we say, what we accept, right? But if you want to define as morality as what we collectively accept, then yes, it is changing, but we have to label do and don'ts from God something else, and put that side by side, morality and, for example, do and don'ts from God, right? Morality and do and don'ts from God. If there's conflict between these two, if you want to be safe in front of God, you have to follow the do and don'ts from God and reject the morality that go against the do and don'ts from God, right? So that's the position of anyone who believe in God. Unless anyone believe in God but believe that God let us live however I want, and there's no repercussion, there's no implication, right? But for those who believe that God have set a certain command, do and don'ts, yeah, so that is the important thing compared to moral. If we want to distinguish, moral is basically what collectively human say is acceptable or not, which is true, that is ever changing, that is relative, that is relative, while the do and don'ts is not relative because it is based on what God said, right? So that's the context. So when you say you believe it shouldn't be and moral should be from God, yeah, what we accept as acceptable should be in line with the do and don'ts from God, right? So basically you describe it correctly then. When one says morality comes from God, this is a belief and not fact, as we already established. You can say there are morals from God which should never change, but as humans, we keep changing our morals and making things up as we go. Okay, this is interesting, right? Yes, human make things up as we go. When I say human, we decide what is moral and what is not. I am saying this based on history. What has been happening, morals changing over time and being relative. We are deciding what is moral and what is not. From your point of view as someone who believes in God, morals should only come from God. But reality, what is happening as humans, we are the ones deciding, not God. That is correct. If we are discussing what really happened with moral, it's exactly as you says. I do agree. Will that open to including, people becoming what is moral is now something is actually sinful? That is one possibility of a result, right? But yeah, in terms of what is actually happening with human, yeah, I do agree with what you said. You focused on genocide. Okay, I didn't remember what I say about genocide. And use it as an example to show that people have different point of view. Oh, okay. So I think when I wrote it, because in the global news, there are people that committing genocide, and there are people that says this is justified, do it, and there's people say this is totally wrong, you shouldn't continue to do this, right? So some people says what happened is moral, and different people say this is not moral, right? So that was the example that I brought. Okay, sorry, I commented before I finished this, but I just want to, for those who are not aware, right? So you focus on genocide and use it as an example to show that people have different point of view on it. Some say it is justified, some others say it is not. My question was specific to you and what you think. Can genocide be justified in 2025? You did not give me an answer, you only gave me different opinions out there based on the conflict you use as an example. Genocide is a war crime and crime against humanity. Even in a war, genocide is wrong. There's no justification for it. The innocent who are not fighters should never be targeted. Even the ones who have suffered genocide, they cannot retaliate with genocide because it is still wrong. There is no justification for genocide. This is something our government have agreed on. Based on our current morals, it is wrong. There have been countless genocide in our history, which is why it was made a crime. We realized this was wrong. The ones committing the crime would obviously try to justify it. Alright, so if you want to say that as a concept, our current morals say genocide is wrong, I would accept that in general, right? I think my point was, because it is relative, there are pockets of people that consider, meaning having a different moral, if you want to say this, right? Meaning that for them this is moral, but for general is considered not moral, right? So if your point is as a majority that is what counts, perhaps we as a majority we do accept in this case genocide is wrong, hence what is moral is, that's good that the current moral is as such. Yeah, I don't remember the exact reason why I brought that up, in the sense that I think I want to show that even at the current time there are pockets of people that have a totally different view of what any specific thing is moral or not, right? So that was my point. Anyway, so that is the comment here. This is until number 4, so we'll continue number 5 in a different comment, so that this will become shorter and shorter. So this is number 5, I think, right? This is number 5, so we'll go there after this. So this one is to lay the ground on I think on what is moral, and I hope I have given my perspective. And okay, he said I didn't answer, right? My question was specific to you. What do you think? Can genocide be justified? Okay, but if you ask that question, what I think, then you are focusing on what one person's opinion, right? Then my example of genocide then become valid, because those people, as an example, do think that genocide is okay, acceptable, because they justify it in whatever way they want, but they actually believe that the genocide that their group is doing is justified. So if you ask about what myself is thinking, or some other people, then that isn't that meaning the opinion or the position of a certain people or certain group, then why would you say that my example is not valid? Unless you want to say that as a collective we can agree that, because you say about the government, etc., right? Where's the government? That's why it is made a crime. So when you say it is made a crime, this is by a certain official body, right? I don't know, court of justice or whatever that is. So that's institution. So if you want to say that moral is governed by a certain institution, then you shouldn't ask me as a person. You just should cite, the World Organization of this have said and decided that this is not moral, right? Do I miss something about this number 4 here? So feel free to get to me if I misunderstand what this is all about in terms of number 4. Anyway, so in the next video we'll continue in number 5. Thank you for watching. See you next time.